Hello friends, so today we're going to discuss the third problem from Codeforces round 664, Bobnia and bit operation. So this question I can't solve during the contest, but it is pretty simple if you understand by its constraint, which are very small. Okay, so let's start with the question. It states that like Bobnia like bit operation and he wants to play a game with you in which you are given two sequences of non-negative integers a1 till an and b1 to bm. So you are given two vectors or like two number of integers, sequences of integers, and now what you can do, for every integer I go from 1 till n. So you are talking about every integer from the first like sequence. You have to choose a j. J means a character from the, or like an integer from the second sequence. So for every integer from the first sequence you have to choose a integer from the second sequence such that ci is equal to an AND operation of both the values which we have chosen. Okay, so the ith value. Okay, and also note that you can pick the same j for different I, which means that for a1 I can choose b1, for a2 I can again choose b1, for a3 I can choose b2, and so on. And now for a1 a2, like the resulting ci is just ai bj. Now what the like target is, you have to find out the minimum possible values for the OR of all the c1 c2 cn, because you will find out n c's for every a till n. You have to find out n c's. So if you do an OR operation for all the c's, you have to find out what is the minimum possible value. Okay, so now because it is up to 10 to the power 9, whenever you shoot c 10 to the power 9, it is like below 1000, and you can do easily iteration over all the possible values. So which means that if, let's assume that you choose some value and like the integers are 10 to the power like 2 to the power 9, and thus the OR value will always also be in 2 to the power 9. So what you can do here is you can iterate over or like assume that our answer of this, the minimum possible answer is like 0, 1, 2. You can iterate over all the values from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. And then if you know that my final answer is this, then we can choose that how we can choose this number such that our answer will become equal to the answer which we want. So let's see some example to make it more clear. So let's move to our drawing board. So let's assume that we have some numbers a1, a2, a3. Okay, and then I have two numbers b1, b2. Okay, now I have to write down ci for three values because I have 3n. So let's assume that the ci comes out to be c1, c2 and c3. I hope you're clear till this point now. So let's assume that our c, or the when we do an OR operation, this turns out to be some value which is x. Now we will iterate our value from x because this value will go from 0 till 2 to the power 9 max, because these values c1, c2, cn is up to 2 to the power 9, and if you do an OR operation of all these numbers, then also the number can be between this range only, and this range is up to like 1000, which is pretty small. So you can do a full iteration from 0 till this number. So what you can do, you can assume that our final answer is, let's assume 5. If we assume that if we do an OR operation of all these numbers that turns out to be 5, then let's assume that 5 is this in the binary representation form. If this is the OR value of c1, c2, c3, all the values when we do an OR operation, then this turns out to be value. Okay, let's assume that we have some binary representation of some numbers. Let's assume that this is 101 and this is like 1 and this is 1 and this is 0, 0. If we do an OR operation of all of these numbers, then if any one of this bit is on, if any of those bit, if like there is another one number, so let's assume that this is 1 and 1 and 0 and 1, if any of them is like on, then the whole number turns out to be on. So what does this mean? If this is our final answer, then, and this is the final answer which is 5, then this all c1, c2, c3 should be such that these bits only should be on. the bits at these positions should never be on in any of the numbers. So all the numbers which will be formed, C1, C2, all the numbers which we are going to form, these bits should not be on in any of the numbers. So that's the first observation you can see. Okay, so now how we can ensure that? We can ensure it with iterating over all the values. So let's assume that we have taken A1, which is, let's assume, like 3. Okay, and then we have B1. So for every A1, A2, every A numbers, we have to choose a B value. Okay, and because we want that our C value should be having, like, let's assume equal to 5, which means that the last bit and this, like, second bit should only be on, this bit should not be on. Okay, so now because we have to do an AND operation with this, with all these numbers, what we can do, so let's assume that this is 3, A is equal to 3 and B is equal to 5, let's assume that. So if we do an AND operation of both of these numbers, whenever both of the bits are on, then only this number turns out to be on, and this is off. And because this is off, then this cannot be our answer. This cannot be our answer, because what we want that both of these bits should be on. This bit should be on also, and this bit should also be on. Because this bit is not on, this is only like equal to 1, and thus we cannot take this in the final answer. Okay, so what we will do, for every A, because A and B are small, for every A we will iterate over all the B's. So if there are 200 A's and 200 B's, then the total number of iteration you will do is 200 into 200, which is like very small. So what you can do, and for every these operation we will do for this 1000 times. So you can do this in 1 second. So what you can do here is, for every A you can iterate over all these numbers, and then see that when you do an AND operation of A1 with all these numbers, can you find a C1 which will form such that only these bit will be on and no other rest bit will be on. So that's the whole trick you have to find out. So how you can check that whether this bit only is on? Because our answer is equal to X, what you can do, whenever you'll do a bitwise like AND operation of this and this turns out to be X. Like, what does this mean? If we do A1 and B1 AND operation, it will form C1. Okay, if this C1 number will do an OR operation with X, if this turns out to be X only, what does this mean? So let's assume that we have, like, when we do an AND operation of A1 and B1 using this, then it will turn out to be 1 0 0. Okay, and then what we want that at least all the numbers which will be formed using this, like this number should be a subset of this number. If we do an OR operation of this and this, then only those bit will turn on which will be having the complete takeover. This 1 1 is 1, so this is 1, this is 0, and this is 0. So this is not actually, when we do an OR operation, this will not turns out to be X. But let's assume that we have some number which is like equal to 101 is our X. If our A1 into B1 turns out to be like this, so if we do an OR operation of this also turns out to be 5 only, which actually help us to know that if we take this number, if we take only this number, then in our final result we will be having such that all other numbers will turn out to be 0, because we have to do an OR operation. So what you can do, this is the key trick in this question. You can write down this question and it will become more clear when you write it on a paper. So that's the whole trick. Let's move on to the question, or like the code part. So take the input of all the A and B in this, and then we will iterate over from all the values from 0 till 2 to the power of 9, and we will check that what is the smallest possible valid value. If this is the ith value is valid, then we can just print out I, because this is the smallest value, and we will just return now. So we can check that this is valid. What we can do, we will take the input of X, we want that this is the final OR answer. How we can check that? We can iterate over all the n values, and for all the n values we will make a flag value, and then we will iterate over all, for every n value we will iterate over all the m values. We will find our AND value, and of the ith value of this and like jth value of this, we will AND it. And if after ANDing, what we can see that if this value turns out to be true, which means that we have found one pair which is valid, okay, which is valid, and we can take this in our final processing, because for every A we have to find out B. So for every AI we have to find out BI. If we can find out this valid pair, then we are okay, and we turn the flag to be true, and we break out. If for any of those values, for any of the AI, we don't find a valid pair, this condition will not hit true, and we will turn out to be false, and we will break out that this cannot form a valid answer. But for every I, if we turn out to be true, then we don't hit this condition, and then we turn out to be true, that this is the valid form, that this is the valid answer. I hope you understand the logic and the code. If you still have any doubts, please mention down. I hope you understand. If you please feel to mention down in the comment box. I'll see you in the next one. Keep coding. Bye.